I guess the digital twin side of it, which I think the construction industry is quite familiar with outside of drones,
Yes.
really helps bring about an understanding for how drones can be useful. What do you think is a digital twin?
When we talk digital twin, we're not only talking, the outside of a structure, as we saw yesterday. We can also talk about the inside of a structure. Not that that's our remit, but a digital twin, you can actually recreate the whole asset. So what we do is with our 3D modeling is we recreate the outside of an asset, but as was shown yesterday, you can also recreate the inside of an asset.
Yeah.
But
you can recreate workflows, processes,
exactly
anything you want, really.
Yeah. So a digital twin, in layman terms, is a kind of digitized in digital space, living, breathing representation of your asset.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, digitally living and breathing. Obviously, it's not. It's not a real thing. But it is. Is a digitized representation of what you are creating. Or created.
Yeah, and it's a two-way street. So you've got information going from the physical world to the digital world, which is the replication process, and then any decisions that are being made using that digital twin get reproduced in the physical world. And then the cycle continues, and you've got a nice little update mechanism going on between physical and the digital, which is great to think. I mean, just from a high level point of view, like we've come so far, like as humans, to be able to do something like this. We're reconstructing reality inside our computers. To be able to make decisions off of, which is pretty profound. I mean, we just get in the nitty-gritty. Well, once you get into the nitty-gritty of it, you forget, but like it's actually quite profound that we can do this.
I mean, you can create you've got back in the day, you'd have drawings, which you still do have, obviously. And you go from your site plan or your drawing. And I'm no builder or architect, but now it looks like we're kind of moving towards the representation of your build site or your asset is now digital, and there'll be less of the drawing side of it, because you can make changes to that digital asset. However you do it in AutoCAD or whatever, you can make changes to that digital asset, and as you said, you can then push that back onto the real world site.
Actually, that's a very interesting point, because we used to always do this, but we used to do it in 2D with initially pen paper and then computer programs, and now we've got 3D with cameras and imaging and 4D with time tracking of all of this, because computing has enabled us to be able to store these massive amounts of data sets to track the asset over time, which is really interesting, because it is the same thing, but it's just we're adding more and more dimensions and more data sets to it.
With the progress of the cloud. You can, there's more opportunity to store that data and have that data accessible by anyone from anywhere. You no longer have a your kit at home or in your office with all your imagery on it. It's out there in cyberspace. That's such a horrible word. I hate the word cyberspace. But it's cyberspace. But it is out there, in the cloud, in cyberspace, and it's readily accessible. So you don't have to have a big board meeting with your paper laid down on the desk with everyone kind of looking at it and going, "Oh, that needs to go there." You can now do this stuff remotely. You can view your digital twin remotely. You can access that data remotely. So your architect might be, he might have gone to Honolulu. Why I picked Honolulu, I don't know. But, he may have gone on holiday, but you need him to do something. That data is accessible for him to be able to pick, or her, to be able to pick up wherever they might be. Exactly. I know we digressed a bit away from digital twins there, but it all kind of...
No, but it is. I mean, it is true.
Blends in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can access the digital world from any point in the physical world as long as you have an internet connection, right? So, and I think that's also an extreme power. The fact that location doesn't matter anymore, you're location agnostic, is a power enabled by digital twins. And I think in the present world of like teams working hybrid, teams working remote, people, large organizations, even construction organizations being distributed across different countries, I think having that living, breathing replica and then accessible from anywhere, any office, anytime, is another benefit that you just don't have in the physical world. You know, you're not going to fly people to the same site all the time. So
no, not at all. I mean, obviously that reduces costs, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. All those transportation costs are gone.
Yep. I mean, lower. I mean, as we, as we've said time and time again with what we do with Hammer Missions, you can lower the cost of the operation.
Yeah.
But make your, you can obviously higher the rate of the surveys, etc. It's just it's a cost-effective way of doing things.
Yeah. And since the operation, which is basically flying the drone to capture that data, if that's super low cost, you can do it many more times.
Yeah.
And with the whole living, breathing thing, you need data quite frequently. And so you can fly the drone and collect high quality data, assuming using the right software to fly the drone, the right software to process the data. You get high quality digital twin data at a frequent rate, which allows you to build this living, breathing digital thing. So,
and obviously with the planning side of things, if you've already got the plan done with your pre-planning software, the plan's already there. You don't have to replan.
Yeah,
you can just use the same flight plan that you've already had and repeat that process over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Over the progress of the build.
Exactly. Yeah.
Adding to your digital twin.
Yeah. Just press a button, repeat the flight. Get the same data over and over again.
Weather dependent.
Weather dependent.
Always weather dependent.
Yeah. Unless you have an IP rated drone, which also is question. I mean, depends on what weather conditions. I mean, light rain maybe, but I guess you still have the problem of the data not being as good because of the camera. So yeah.
Well, you're flying somewhere that is hot and never rains.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I don't know. I'd like to be somewhere hot where it never rains, to be fair.